All right, thanks for chatting with us today.
No, thank you for having me.
Can you give us a brief rundown of what you do with your machine and how you use it in your projects?
All right, well, machine plays a big role for me. I cut parts, obviously, it's a laser. And what I do is fabricating part for architects. When I say architects, it's small houses for the small developments, and also use the laser to create props and also museum exhibits.
Uh, so props and museum exhibits for what sort of displays?
It's so many from, what can I say? I got a sample right here. I'm building one of the ship for Robert Small, and I'm working on it. So it's all made of wood,
Oh,
and you have you know, plexiglass
mhm.
in there.
And is that
That's
all cut with a laser?
all cut with the laser, yes.
Oh, wow. And what kind of materials? You said it was all wood and with some plexiglass?
Yes, wood glass, and also use real thick cardboard.
So then how did they discover you for the assembly required video then?
Yeah.
Through Instagram. They sent me in an email, but text, and I thought that was some kind of a scam. I didn't pay attention of it. And then he insists, one of the producers, and they start getting serious. And I said, well, yeah, why not? I would love to. When they mentioned the host is going to be Tim Allen and Richard Karn, I says, oh, yeah, let's go for it.
Alex, Sean, congratulations. You're moving on to the second round.
And that was fun. And then, it took a long time in order to produce the episode, but that was good. I like it. I enjoy it.
That's awesome. So did you get to work much with Tim Allen and Richard Karn?
No, that was a video conference. All video conference, every 20, 30, 40 minutes when I was building the project, they talk to me. But of course, they have to, 5 days of filming, they have to shrink it for a 40 minutes of, of an episode.
Yeah. And did you use the laser when you made any of those projects?
Yes. I use the laser for the levels that I put in my creation, and also the patterns that I use in the nose of the flamethrower and part of some signals. I mean, signs that I put in there.
Yeah. So was it stressful?
Whew. Yes, it was stressful, but yeah, good feeling. I like it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was a really cool video. We really liked watching it here. It gave us also an excuse to sit down and watch YouTube for a little bit. So
Oh, thank you.
yeah, it was thoroughly enjoyable. That was a really cool build.
Oh,
Yeah. How long have you been using lasers?
over 20 years. I got different brands, different machines, but I have to be very honest. I never been so happy with this one, because you always, computers or machines, they get better, and better and better. And the laser what we used to use, the only thing you can cut in there is just raster mode or vector. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
And the only software that I was capable to do everything what we have to use AutoCAD, and that's it. But now, using your machine, I can transfer pictures, use any software that is capable to print, send it to that one, calibrate it the way I need it. It's a really good tool.
So the 5S that you have there behind you, that's the first one you've owned, the full spectrum.
Yeah, from full spectrum, yeah, that's the first one. Yes.
All right. Was the previous ones, were they smaller like that, or did you use larger machines before that?
I use a larger machines, but when you build big pieces, but normally, but the type of job that I build, I mean, what I do, I'm sorry, I don't require more than 12 by 20. Is a decent size for me.
So a lot of the projects we saw on your website were like the full architectural models that you've made. Have you done anything beyond that with the laser, or is that mostly what you make?
Oh, well, it depends on my clients. Some of the projects I cannot share it in the internet, even on my website, but sometimes they want something three-dimensional using with the laser. So what I do is just is a material on top of the material, creating three-dimensional views. I did logos, personal stuff like coasters for companies that want to just have the logo on the wood coasters. Yeah, those are the small ones, but the big ones is all architectural. I just recently finished a project, and this is a leftover. They decide to not put it in there, but this is all cut it in your laser.
Oh, wow, that's So is
It's all
that,
plexiglass.
do they
It's
get smaller than that too, or is that kind of the average size?
Oh, I can do smaller. Like I say, architectural project. It came in so many different scales. This one was a custom scale because they need to sit the whole model into the base. So they already have the base, so I have to shrink it according to the base. But now I'm working in a project that's a new golf school, and this is what I got so far. I cut it this one with the laser. It's a 16 plexiglass. I use primer, so that way you can have a detail of the siding. But it's not finished yet, so
Uh,
I got more to go.
how much of like when you some of these models that are like that we see on your website are like the full, even I guess the landscaping that is made. Do you how much of that is done with the laser?
Oh, with the laser, I cut the curves, so that way you have this. The street is just a solid piece of depends. It's a solid piece of sinter material, and then the curves I paint it all green. But of course, I gotta cut in the laser first, paint it all green, and I use special. I forgot the name. I help you to paint the corner of the curve, so that way it mimics the sidewalk, and then add the grass on it.
Okay, yeah.
But I need a laser in order to have a really nice cut and
Hmm.
precise pieces because those this building has to sit in a footprint already cut, so that way they are placed correctly.
And is it mostly just that plexiglass and you said cardboard and wood? Do you work with any other materials?
Uh, I use so many. So, well, when you say cardboard, you use all type of papers,
Hmm.
um, plexiglass, all kind of vinyls. What else? Wood, all type of woods. Um, I barely touch glass because with the glass you won't cut glass. What you do is just scratching the surface, but it's none. In 20 years,
Yeah.
none.
Yeah. Now, is there any like tips or tricks that you've discovered along the way that maybe you'd like to share with people?
Okay, yeah, one.
Okay.
uh, when you cut material, you have to focus the beam in order to cut it. But when you want to create a deeper groove in plexiglass, I give you an example of plexiglass. Rather than have it focus, what I do is just unfocus, so that way when I shoot wider, and so rather than create a little beam there, like like this one, you barely see it right there.
Yeah.
So see this unfocused, so that way so that way it's deeper, and so you can see all the detail. So those are little tricks.
So on the 5S, you have it's a manual focus, correct?
Yeah, that's the manual focus. Yes.
Focus. Yeah. That one doesn't have the camera, right?
No, it doesn't. The only thing I did with this one, I put lights inside because I like to see where the laser cutting. So I put a long wide stripe. You can see a little bit. It's glowing in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I can see the lights on top there.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I can really see it. Yeah. And so, have you encountered any issues with the machine since you've had it?
Well, in the beginning that was the learning curve, how the everything works, but everything went really smooth. Very friendly machine to use. Very friendly machine to use. But of course, I say this now because I have 20 years of experience.
Mm-hmm.
But with somebody that have no experience, I would recommend to do a really good research. But I recommend these machines. They're really good because you can use any software. You're not tied to any software like AutoCAD or CorelDRAW, so you can go any whatever you want.
Yeah, and then just import it direct and finalize it in the software at the end. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep. So, all right. So, do you have any current projects that you're working on that you can kind of hint us in on? I mean, we saw the one there that you said was partly finished. Is there any big projects you're working on that?
They're on the table. They're in part of the everything in AutoCAD.
Mm-hmm.
But I have the golf school that they're building. I got Robert Small Boat. The other ones are not related with the laser.
Mm-hmm.
They're more like a museum, so casting. But in the end, what I do is I use the laser to create the labels, so that way they can go into the displays.
All right. So, well, I think that's about. I think I covered most of the questions. I had a few more.
Yeah, go ahead. And also, I got samples of material that I normally cut with a laser.
Oh, perfect.
I like to save it, so that way as a reference for the next time. See, those are wood.
Okay. So you can, now do you also have those like a file of those as well that you have on your computer?
Yes, yeah. I save every file, and for things like that, and normally, like I say, I save it and take a picture with my with a couple of notes. What I use, how much power I use, and the type of material. Because in my profession, you can spend time researching. You just go for, oh, this is a material I used before. Oh, what is the settings? Boom, 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 boom. Just put it back in there and just start cutting.
Now, how many of those do you have? Do you have like an extensive library of your samples that you've done?
I got huge. They're everywhere. even this say those are the settings, and I don't know the light. You see, those are the settings and the material what I use. Or even here, oops, 1 second. I'm pulling stuff under the table, and see, so I got my notes, I got the materials, I glue it here, so that way I can see. So you can see I got all the materials here.
Oh yeah.
So that way when I'm using the materials, I pull that. It's easier.
Definitely. That looks like it also save a lot of time.
It saves a lot of time, yes.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, I appreciate you taking some time to answer some questions for us. I mean, a lot of the stuff that we saw on your Instagram looked really cool, and then we checked out your website, and some of those things we just looked at. It's just like at first you had to take a second glance just to realize that that wasn't an aerial photo. That was an actual like model we were looking at. So,
it's true.
Yeah, we were really impressed with that at first, and we actually thought we were looking at scenic pictures.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
yeah.
Well, that's my goal. Well, that's what I tell my clients. My goal is to make you look good in front of your client. So, presenting a model like it's photorealistic is, give you the wow factor.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we definitely had that wow factor when we were looking at it. So, and it's still amazing that you're doing all that with just a 20 by 12 laser.
See, let me show you this. When I use the 20 by 12, this is bigger than 20 by 12, but I have to make sure where I'm gonna cut the material and add another one. See here, you got the seam right in the center, but you're not gonna see it because you got a wheel over here. It's in a steamboat, so you gotta play with your model, where and how you're gonna cut it.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that way 2012. Well, you can do it with 20 by 12, but it will be great if I have a bigger one. But it's not a point. Well, not for now. I would love to buy a bigger one later on. That's for sure.
I mean, we have our new Muse Titan line that's basically a larger version of exactly what you have there.
I was looking at that one. Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
We've been playing with it a lot this week. We've been making a lot of videos of it. So it's basically just a larger version. Everything that you use there, you could probably just take it and just plug it into the larger one and keep going.
Nice.
So,
nice.
I really appreciate you taking the time to meet with us. I mean, this really gives a kind of an eye-opener on what you can do with the machines. I mean, you can really go large scale with these things, and it's really impressive.
Oh, thank you. Like I told, my friends around the neighbor, a few of them, they know what I do. And they see my project, and then they see the laser, and they say, it's too small. Well, remember one thing, it's small, but it's actually my lion. So, you know what I'm trying to say. It's tiny, but it's really powerful as a lion because you can build whatever you want. Mm-hmm. And also this one is, when I purchased, I asked for 40 watts. So this is a 40 watts.
Oh, so only the 40, wow.
Yeah.
I know, I guess it had the 45 watt upgrade option, but I mean, if you're working with those thinner and smaller materials.
Yeah, well, 45 will be good. I got 1/4-inch plexiglass time to time, but you gotta go 2 passes sometimes, or when you go too slow, it's too much fume and it doesn't cut it very well.
Mm-hmm. All right, sounds good. Yeah, thanks. You make some awesome stuff. Thanks for letting us talk with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Bye.